Hi there, you're watching the Yoga Bro. My name's Corey. Thank you for joining me today for your practice. Today we'll be doing a short and easy beginner sequence that will work into the spine, the lower back, as well as into the shoulders and neck area. As always, feel free to modify or skip any of the poses I'm about to show you. Just do what feels right for your body today. As you can see, it's a beautiful spring day here in Telluride, where Mother Nature is renewing and refreshing itself. I think we could take a lesson from that and use anything this spring, any new hobby, any new places that we've discovered out in nature to renew and refresh our own lives. So with that in mind, let's get started. We're going to start today in child's pose. We're going to take our big toes together behind us. Knees are about mat width. We're going to extend the arms long as we sink the rear into the hips. Extend our arms forward, maybe even bringing the forehead to the mat. And we're just going to use this opportunity to center the breath, to center our minds, focus in on the breath. And to check in with the body as well. We can do a quick scan of the body from the tips of the fingers, down the arms and shoulders, through the midsection, into the hips, legs, all the way to the base of the feet. We're just trying to identify any spots that are a little stiff or a little sore. Any place that could use a little extra loving today. I'm going to talk a lot about the breath today, and focusing the breath or sending the breath to a specific body part. And what that means is I want you to imagine and visualize that breath entering into any body part that you feel to stretch the most, be it a joint, a muscle, or a tendon. Visualize that breath nourishing and healing whatever spot you feel to stretch the most. You can use this time to set an intention or a small goal for your class or for your practice today. Or maybe you just want to think of a state of mind that you'd like to achieve with your practice. Positive state of mind to carry you through the rest of the day. Two more breaths. And then we'll slowly come out of child's pose to all fours. We're going to plant our hands to the mat directly below our shoulders, and then we're going to align our knees up directly below our hips. We're going to work through a couple cat-cows here. So we're going to drop the belly and arch the spine, gaze up here in cow pose. And after a breath or two, we'll inhale here and exhale to cat pose, sending the middle of the back high, tucking the chin, looking back at the knees. Now moving with the breath, let's alternate between the two. Inhale, slowly moving to cow. Exhaling, back to cat. Keep moving here. Our goal is to make the breath last the same duration as the movement. So really slowing that movement down to match a nice deep inhale and exhale. We'll say one more round in each direction. Before releasing back to center. Next we'll come into an easy spinal twist. So on an inhale, let's take our right hand high to the sky, opening the chest to the right side, And if it's comfortable on your neck, gazing up at the right thumb. One more inhale here. And then on an exhale, we're going to lace that right arm behind the left arm, dropping to our shoulder or our temple. Shoulder and temple. You can either keep the left hand by the face here, or you could take the left hand high, point it towards the ceiling or towards the sky, and then drop the hand behind your back, either using the leverage against your lower back to push that shoulder open to the left side, or if you want a little more, you can even venture down towards the right leg, grasping the pant leg or maybe even the inner thigh to open the shoulder and chest even more to the left side. Just 2 more breaths here. And after your second breath, we'll rewind, releasing the left hand back by the face, taking the right hand high, and then let's roll out that wrist a couple times, just drawing a circle with the hand, and then coming back to center and setting up for the other side. On an inhale, taking the left hand high, holding it for a breath or two as we look up towards the thumb. And then exhale, lacing it through, threading the needle as we drop down to the left shoulder, left temple. If you did so on the other side, you can take the right hand skyward and then drop it behind the back. Maybe even approaching that left leg or left inner thigh to turn the shoulder even further to the right side here. Good, and we'll release and rewind. Right hand back by the face, left hand high, rolling out the wrist twice in each direction, and then coming back to center. Good, let's lower down onto our stomachs here. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So we're going to line up our forearms straight off of the elbows, and then the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Trying not to slouch in the shoulder saddle, sitting nice and tall, but relaxing the lower back so that the belly button drips towards the mat. Our gaze is neutral. We're not letting our head hang here. We're not cranking our chin up in the sky. We're just looking about a foot or so in front of our mat. This is one of those poses where you can really make space on every inhale and then release and relax into that space we've created on every exhale. Good, now keeping the head level, I'm going to look off towards the right side. Keeping my chin straight up and down, I'm going to nod my head yes 2 or 3 times, dropping my chin to the chest, and then looking skyward, moving very slowly here. Just exploring this range of motion, working out any creaks and cracks in the neck area. And then bringing the head level, I'm going to do the same thing as I look to the left side here. 2 or 3 nods, yes. And then bringing the head back to level, back through center. This time I'm going to look straight down at the mat. That space between my hands or between my forearms, I'm going to do kind of a maybe head movement where I bob my left ear to my left shoulder, right ear to right shoulder, working into the sides of the neck. A couple times each side. And then coming back to center, this time I'm going to twist my head no. 2 or 3 times, twisting chin to shoulder, chin to shoulder. Good, and as you come back to center, let's take a rest here, relaxing that lower back. Just building a little pillow with your hands. You can drop your left temple to the pillows or to the hands that you've created. The hand pillow, I guess. And then we're going to try another deeper variation of that first pose. So bringing our chin to the mat, we're going to take our hands to the outside of the mat onto the floor, in my case, the ground. So we'll start by lining the hands up right by the chest so that the thumbs are right underneath the armpits. Then we're going to walk the hands wide so that we can square the elbows here. And then turn the fingertips away from our body. And then we're going to see if we can straighten the arms here. And if you can't, if you have a bent elbows here, that's fine. You can work your way towards straight arms someday. Same principle here, relaxing that lower back, letting the belly button drip towards the mat. Two more breaths. And we'll release back down. Brush my hands off here a little bit. I'm going to build a little pillow here and rest my right temple to the mat. We have one more cobra variation to go here. So we're going to come back into child's pose, just where we started. Big toes together, knees nice and wide. This is a dynamic cobra, which means we're going to be moving here. So dropping the forehead to the mat, extending the arms long. And then on an inhale, we're going to shift forward, bringing our heels into our rear. Elbows stay hugged into chest. Drop the pelvis towards the mat as you look skyward. And then on an exhale, we're going to push back to where we started in child's pose. Let's keep moving, matching movement to breath. Inhale, forward, heels in, elbows in, chin up. Exhaling, back to child's pose. Let's do about 3 more like that. Matching that movement to breath. Last one. We'll all meet in child's pose. Just for a breath or two here. Good, and then we'll shift forward onto our stomach again. I call this a pose pigeon for the arms. So we're going to take our elbows and cross them in front of us and let the arms traction away from each other. You want your hands palms up, right about face level here. And then start to sink down. You should be at a level where you can rest your chin on that upper arm. And stay relaxed here. This works into a pretty specific spot on the back or the outside of the shoulders, into the rotator cuffs. We will switch sides here, just switching the bottom arm for the top arm. Keeping the palms up, letting the arms traction or the elbows traction away from each other. Sinking our chin or our neck into that upper arm. And then finally, after 4 or 5 breaths, we'll wiggle out of that. And we'll come into our finishing pose, which will be child's pose. If you want to do something a little different here, you could bring the knees together and then drop the hands behind you as you drop your forehead to the mat, letting the shoulders hang. This is great release for those shoulders that we just stretched. A little bit more constricted on the breathing.
but a nice variation to try out nonetheless. And you could stay in child's pose for as long as you'd like
before ending your practice. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.